The highly anticipated rematch between Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira and Michael Chandler is officially set for UFC 309, which will take place in New York on November 16th, and MMA fans' excitement has never been higher. Chandler, who had been eagerly awaiting a fight against Conor McGregor for almost 2 years, is now gearing up for a high-stakes lightweight bout. But before we continue, make sure you're subscribed to the channel by clicking the button below to keep receiving the best of UFC every day. The winner of this fight will not only get closer to a title shot against Islam Makhachev, but will also have the chance to cement themselves as one of the top names in the division. In an enthusiastic backstage conversation at UFC 306, Chandler didn't hold back in praising Charles "Do Bronx," highlighting him as one of the most admired and respected fighters in MMA. "Charles has always been on my radar. It's not about disrespect, it's about the respect I have for him and his journey. He's a true professional and a fan favorite in the UFC. Of course, I'll give it my all to win this fight, but the admiration I have for him is undeniable," Chandler revealed with sincerity. The rivalry between them intensifies even more when considering the history of their previous encounters. In 2021, Charles "Do Bronx" knocked out Chandler in the lightweight title fight, but the American is determined to correct the mistakes of the past. "I'm a different fighter now. I've learned a lot since our last fight, and I'm much more mature, both as an athlete and as a person," Chandler explained, showing confidence in his evolution. He guarantees he's ready to face Charles with an improved strategy and unwavering respect for his opponent. With this rematch, fans can expect an MMA spectacle of the highest level and a fight that promises to be a true epic battle. After the thrilling confirmation of the rematch between Charles "Do Bronx" and Michael Chandler, which promises to set the Octagon on fire at UFC 309, a new and surprising chapter has emerged in the world of MMA. Michael Bisping, known for his analytical skills and his role as one of the sport's top commentators, brought up a list that's sure to stir even more debate about the greatest names in UFC history. In a revealing video on his YouTube channel, Bisping announced his picks for the mythical Mount Rushmore of the UFC, and, surprisingly, Conor McGregor stands alongside legends like Royce Gracie and Fedor Emelianenko. While the rivalry between McGregor and Bisping may have fueled some tension, the Brit didn't hesitate to recognize McGregor's monumental impact on the sport. "The sport is only 30 years old. Let's look at it 100 years from now. Who will be the name that really stands out?" Bisping asked, highlighting McGregor's undeniable influence in elevating MMA to new heights. Bisping also praised figures like Royce Gracie, whose mastery of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu revolutionized the sport, and Fedor Emelianenko, whose dominance and pride cemented him as one of the greatest fighters never to compete in the UFC. The inclusion of Conor McGregor in the list not only reinforces the Irishman's importance in UFC history, but also offers a new perspective on his legacy, especially amidst his recent rivalry with Jake Paul, which has captured the attention of fight fans around the world. With anticipation growing after the announcement of the rematch between Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira and Michael Chandler, another heated rivalry is gaining prominence and promises to shake up the UFC. Alex Pereira, also known as Poatan, and Dricus du Plessis continue to escalate their rivalry, and the recent exchange of jabs between them adds a new level of excitement to the mix. Poatan, who is preparing to defend his light heavyweight title against Khalil Roundtree at UFC 307, did not hold back his criticism of current middleweight champion du Plessis, suggesting that the South African is not committed to the idea of a fight between them. In a provocative interview with Full Send MMA, Poatan challenged du Plessis, claiming that the South African is avoiding a direct confrontation. "Dricus is definitely an easier fight than fighting John Jones. What's lacking is his willingness to actually face us. I said I'd like to fight him, but he never gives a clear answer. Everyone knows he's scared. He needs to speak up concretely if he really wants this fight," the Brazilian fired. Du Plessis' response was swift and sharp. "Scared clown, how dare you? I already said I'd fight you or Strickland. What more do you want? Should I book your translator?" The South African taunted on his X account. While Poatan prepares for his third defense of the light heavyweight title, Du Plessis remains firm in his position as middleweight champion, and a fight between these two big names seems to be drawing closer. What remains to be seen is who will stand out in the Octagon and how this rivalry will evolve in the near future. After the intriguing rivalry between Alex Poatan and Dricus du Plessis that's heating up the world of martial arts, UFC 306 brought yet another dose of drama to the MMA scene. Norma Dumont shone brightly in the latest edition of the event, delivering a dominant and exciting performance by defeating Mexican fighter Irene Aldana via unanimous decision. The fight was marked by an intense battle, with Aldana showing impressive resilience despite the severe injuries she sustained during the 3 rounds. In an interview with the UFC Brazil channel after the fight, Norma Dumont revealed details about the match and referee Herb Dean's decision. According to the Brazilian, the fight was nearly stopped due to the severity of the injuries, but Dean, known for his firm stance, decided to let the fight continue until the end. "I knew Herb Dean wouldn't stop the fight until one of us went down," said Norma. She explained that after realizing Aldana was determined to continue, she also felt more confident to exchange blows more aggressively. Norma praised Aldana's toughness and pointed out that, despite the hard hits she took, the Mexican was unable to bring her down. With this victory, Norma Dumont further solidified her place in the UFC, achieving her 5th consecutive win and continuing to forge a promising path in the Octagon. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with all the UFC news, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new content every day. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and see you in the next video.